Capricorn, hey, this is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Subscribers, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you click the subscribe button and ring the bell out beside it, and they'll be sure to notify you anytime I post new videos. Also, if you find you like the content we provide here at this channel, be sure to give us a big thumbs up and share with your friends and family. So, Capricorn, you were at a crossroads. I already have some laying out face up, and it is obvious that you're at a place like oil and water. They don't mix, like the edge of contrast. They kiss, they touch, but they do not mix. And so it's time for you to go your own way. This the rune cards in the center here are Strength inverted. And it says, release the past, missed opportunities, self-sabotage, and unnecessary sacrifice. I'll get into that in a second, but let's go ahead and look at the other one. It is disruption, Halagaz. Liberation, change, evolution of mind, topsy-turvy, grow, inner strength. So, you can see when you see the two together, look at them. They're kindred spirits. Can you see that? And can you see this? But this is focusing more on the upper half. Like, that is why it's strength inverted, is you have no legs to stand on. It's kind of like something has come in and that has happened. Maybe even passed you by and you weren't too sure what to do about it. And for some of you, this is the second go around. It might have been decades since the last time this came past you. And so you're a little shaken, a little stirred up. The nerves are kind of going. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what we have at the top. We have 27, resilience, burn away the past. And here it's very much like you're at the hairdresser, like you getting your hair did, you getting fine as wine. It's time to take some personal time, some reflection time, to begin to focus on you, to take the helm of the ship and decide where you want this boat, your vessel, to travel, to go, and through what type of waters do you want to navigate. Things have been hellish as of late. You've been through the hellfire brimstone, hell or high water, lots of hell there, apparently, if we're picking up on that. Cauldrons, you've had some magic done against you. Even your inner world became a hell. Like, home was no longer even a respite, a safe place, a getaway. It became all encroaching, is what you're saying. And you couldn't tell the difference between yourself and your surroundings any longer. So this resilience wants you to burn away the past, to really let it go and to renew and refresh yourself. Like a lot of cultures know that they would naturally set fire to the forest to burn away the old, the drab, the dry, to reinvigorate and charge up that new growth. So this seems to go hand in hand with the disruption, right? Because you can see in all caps there a strong emphasis on growth. So let's look at what needs to be released first and dabble in that those waters before we go on to the change. So down beneath strength inverted, we have 36, purpose, the shark. What really stands out this time in this card is the light penetrating the depths. You're no longer in the deep depths anymore, being bumped along to your purpose by these sharks. They're kind of, we could say this danger, this disruption is kind of playing along now, and it's worked you up towards the surface, because light can only penetrate, shafts of light can only penetrate so deep in the water. Just a handful of feet there, and there are bubbles, there's air, so it's letting us know you keep going up to get more air and then come back down. But why are you there? You're meant to be above ground. This is a rebirth of sorts, because that's the only time we breathe the water, right, is in utero. We have it in our lungs when we're in our amnios, right? The amniotic fluid. There's a lot going on around you, but it's all irrelevant. It's all irrelevant, just like this. And that's why it's saying burn down the past, incinerate it, bring it down to ashes, to base component. Kind of like alchemy, right? To take it down to base component, to the lead, in order to turn it into the gold. Like, you need to know what you're dealing with to see what has been weighing you down. Interesting. Why you keep going down instead of staying up above it. It's almost like you don't know your worth of why you should stay up above it. As if these are patterns of the past, and almost that you were born into this type of living and didn't know any different. Or at least from the earliest of age or earliest of recognition, is playing out these patterns in life that you've seen in front of you. Okay, so down beneath, directly beneath Shark, we have the Nine of Swords coming in. This is from the Mary L. Tarot deck. Spirit is soaring and circling about, trying to call you into the land, away from the shore. Like this shore here very much has a strong High Priestess energy. And it's as if your intuition, your ability to see both sides of the issue in the world has been wearing you out and doing you in, and you are no longer living. You have not been living life in quite some time. If you're not even safe, at peace, or relaxed in your own home, and it needs a do-over, a makeover to be redone, then it's time to be extracted. Okay, so that's pretty much what the Spirit is doing here, hovering up above, is extracting you and bringing you back to light, and they're saying, and bringing you back to life, bringing you back to your divine manifestation. That doesn't mean manifesting divine things. Your divine manifestation, your original form, your true self, bringing it in and elevating you and connecting you with your higher self and also your future self. Because there's actually a triad going on here as well. So there's an overseer. Okay, so you left your body a long time ago, friend, huh? It was that difficult? But Cappies, you can live without pleasure, because if you live with purpose, then you can do it, and you can get on through it, and you can get on through it, and eventually, maybe it's through COVID or whatever else, that has pressed in and even gone dry and fallow. So you've already, in your heart, begun to sing a different tune, a different song. You had disconnected from the environment around you, detached emotionally, which other people would think, well, you're always that, you're always aloof. But the truth is, you care so deeply, you care on levels that other people don't go, just simply because they're not built or crafted that way. Not everybody can go where a submarine goes, right? And that's the sea part of the sea goat. Also to the highest heights where the air's too thin for me to breathe. So you do connect, but you connect in those outer realms, in those reaches, and in those places. You're sending a message to your own self, to your rook, to your turret, to your lookout. So it doesn't seem like too much of a warning. I mean, you haven't been listening for a long time. You've been blasted here because it didn't make sense to look out, to watch out for yourself. You're crafted and built for difficulty. Going through hard is actually easy for you. And why would you want it any other way? Because you're meant to join. If they're saying in a valley of the tree of life, but look, it's up upon a hill. Maybe for you, this is a valley, right? It's just that little distance off. It's that little bit of effort, that little bit of tuning in and attending to these needs. I see the pathway and the portal is open for you. Okay, so that's telling us to go ahead and jump in. Jump in. Jump in, jump through, jump into this golden life, jump into this being on the same page with yourselves, right? Your higher self and your future self and your divine, fine self, Capricorn. And it'll bring you into the shore. There are many castles here, many lookouts. It's people of consideration and care and concern. You get to be joining a group of people who are focused on life, no longer this consumption and destruction. You're going to a higher place, friend. Let's see what that has to do with. Okay, so we have the Eight of Discs coming in under the jumping card. They're like this, you see? So let's see what it's telling us to channel in and through. Give me just a second. I hear and I see a waterfall, and it is a steep waterfall. So rather than going deep anymore, they're focusing on the higher elevation for a while. The horned part of you, okay? But for you, that's where your instinct comes from, is from your intellect. And there is the part of the high priestess that they're regenerating here. After drawing you away from this energy and drawing you into this realm, which is where you're jumping into, it's crafting and creating a new high priestess. It's uncting it forward. It's a planetary connection. It's a planetary connection. I wonder which one. Well, it's very much, they're showing the force of Leo coming in. So as the season of Leo has begun, it's going to be an unfolding of this regeneration of your strength. Fantastic. Okay, so that means it's time to whip it around here. So we've made the way around the bend, and now you're getting your feet up under you. Interesting. I love how y'all talk to me in riddles, and I have to figure this out on screen, on camera, and be like, woo, woo. Let's get to it, people. So new beginnings and growth and change. Humility, service, and firm principles. So it's learning to stand your ground, which isn't hard for you if it comes to work or if it comes to purpose, right? But if they're talking about that and they're kind of tapping on the self, that means they're hearkening to meaning, personal revelation, personal satisfaction, things like that bring about your growth, your wealth, your development. And that wealth means the flourishing of all things, your health, your mind frame, your restfulness, your dream state, not just sleep dreaming. We're talking about your concocted. You're cooking up the stars here, right? Because look at the top. Can you see what's going on up there? See that star? And that's the flow that's coming in, that's coming down upon you, this wanting to connect with you, these higher realms. And that's why you're like, this valley, because you've already been up there, but they're bringing you back down to earth. They're bringing you to a place of human decency, is what I hear them say. So let's see what that has to do with. Opposite, we have the Six of Swords. Wow. Lots of blood, sweat, and tears, Cappy. And there's more. There's like a Van Halen symbol going on in here, and it's showing the yin and the yang. You like some hard rock? Well, that would make sense for a Cappy. Okay, y'all. Yeah, it's like just a tiny little footbridge. Just a tiny little footbridge. Keep maintaining that innocence and trust. It's as if you have lost your parents, which would make sense because these were some things lived out in front of you that, like, that innocence is here, that childlikeness of, well, I don't know how to live if I don't live out the patterns that I've seen. Difficulty, doing it hard, having this brusqueness, those things of the way people treat each other, that's what I was conditioned to, and therefore that's what I'm tolerant of. I don't see that you're acting out that way on others. I see that you're tolerant of it. And that's why your world imploded. Why all the nasty debris of the outside, like this is a fallen world, you can clearly see it like an Armageddon, came into your home, is because that level of tolerance that you had built, having, like the free divers, they can go 30, 40 minutes holding on one breath because they know how to circulate that oxygen through their stream and to make the most of it. That's what you had done here. You had conditioned yourself to live, you're telling me, abstractly and abnormally. So here, the greater serpentine truth is coming in, the deep, dark truth. Like, the unveiling of the Kundalini is coming in, but it's coming in through Mercury. Interesting. Divine communication, of course. But Mercury is very indicative of swiftness and words. But I see here it could be more of the understanding, okay? So your understanding of this is going to come in and penetrate quickly. And you'll have companions along with you, as well as someone who gets you. Whether this is a life mate, whether it's a neighbor, a friend, whomever. And this is more of a divine being here, covering you with your own energy. That's what's fantastic about it. Every red feather you see there is yours. It is your effort. It is your blood, sweat, and tears coming together in the red magic. And this divine being is in essence bringing in the white magic, the hopes, dreams, and fears. And not that they're awakening the fears, right? But those fears are something that tinges the hopes and the dreams. And when we begin to move them out and see them clearly for what they are, they become the match strike, the catalyst, the flame for igniting our hopes and dreams. Interesting. I'm going to have to listen back to this because that is quite a riddle there. Okay, So we're going to now take a peek at disruption. Remember the upper half when our strength was inverted? To remind you, it's liberation, change, evolution of mind, topsy-turvy, grow, and inner strength. So that changing of energies, it can take a little bit to stabilize it. Like if you've never walked on feet, what movie is that? The Little Mermaid, right? She had the mermaid tail, and she had to learn. She wiggled her toes and began to see what it felt like to walk on legs, because she had never had those leggy things, right? So this is all new to you, and how to walk it out, how to live it out. But that's what I love coming in up under here, is transformation. Sea otter. Wow, that's shocking. Okay, going from water back to land, to being human, to being prepared, to being ready, to join in the interplay of life. Interesting. There's a hush over it, so let's dive in down beneath it. So down beneath it we have the Ten of Discs. Ooh. Give you a peek. Look at the horns on that baby. That's right. Now you know you're a boss goat when you mount up on the horse. But this was, remember, telling you to leave the watery part of the sea goat and to come into the land dwelling. Certain ones indicate Capricorn is just a goat, but many it's the sea goat, the highest heights, the deepest depths, right? And they're kind of abandoning those depths for very much the power of the air here, because even though it's discs, look at all this airy quality coming in. Okay, now I can hear the hooves stamping out, that darkness beating to a new drum, the electric, kinetic, earth-shattering, changing energy, that it's like your horns are becoming wings. You're staking your claim. And I very clearly see the tree of life here that you were showing me over here. You're staking your claim to life and your rights to it. Because as it begins to move and you begin to walk in it, you may not see it yet, but that's very Capricornian, is like you get the instinct and you know what you're going for, and you find the steps along the way. You have the tenacity, the grasp. You make it along the way. And along the way here, you get the grasp of the tree of life. You get the grasp of that. And you have so much authority and power that you put it behind it. And you get in line with yourself. You're like, I'll second that motion. I'll second myself. I'll be my own witness. Interesting. So this final channel that we have sitting here had a little hover card over it. Look at that. The bottom of the deck said it wanted to sit at the top. So is the Four of Wands, and it's really like this raging fire. It is your passion, but it's like we're looking inside of a bronchial tube of your lungs, okay? And your lungs are lit with passion, with fire, your breath, because oxygen combusts, right? You have a fire and you breathe on it, or you do the little puffer lung thingamajig, bellows. You do the bellows on it, and you just watch it. It kind of seems to dissipate, and then it roars upward because oxygen feeds the fire. So you're not only getting behind it, that life, that tree of life is your lungs. Your breath begins to catch, and your spirit begins to catch inside of you and animate you. Let's see what that brings in with these credit cards here. It brings in creativity, fire flower. Looky here. See, this fire flower is like a cup of the sun, a cup of radiance, which is, it is our nucleus of our world. You keep saying nucleus, nuclear, powerful, radiant. You're going beyond catalyst. It's like that nuclear bomb. It is, well, there aren't words for it, but I see smiles everywhere. I see all the sprouts just doom, doom, doom in sequential order like dominoes. And domino has to do with master and leader. You step and become a master of this. Well, you don't go halfway, do you? Okay? So, wow. Once you catch wind of it, once you begin to feel and experience this new divine power, this permission to move quickly in it, to support yourself, to stand on your own 2 feet and to trust yourself and to begin to establish your own meaning in life, to connect with pleasure and purpose and meaning, weaving all that in. So beneath it we have number 20, judgment coming in. Look at that. The phoenix is coming for you. It's swooping in. It's the divine bird. It's when you, like here, this past that you're burning down is yourself. The phoenix is consumed in its own flame to ashes, and then it rebuilds itself in the nest. And it comes forth to life in violet and crimson flame, balancing the extent of life, but life as you know it now here on earth, as you know it now in this existence, reiterating that, reinforcing that, getting on the same page with that, signing your signature to that promissory note. Okay? Now down beneath judgment we have death coming in. Look at this. Knowing all knowledge, knowing beyond knowing. It's like you're telling me it's in your bones. It's in my bones. It's in my bones is what you're saying. Well, in your bones is marrow. And that is the thing that drives you forward in life. And we can have red marrow or we can have yellow marrow. And generally, as you age, it becomes more yellow, which can lead to sickness, death, that type of thing, because it's not full of vigor in life. But you're saying we have a choice here. We have a choice to continue and to be full of vigor in life and to seize life for all it is and to step into it fully, bravely, every day, embracing the virility of life. Or you can cave. Or we can cave. That's what you're saying. We can cave and we can give in to the patterns of the world going on around us. Which if you're not growing, you're dying. That's what you said. Interesting. Huh. Let's get a little tea on this, Cappy. And then we'll wrap up. Whoop, okay. Hey! There we go. Hand in need of help, assistance, and guidance. So let's go ahead and ask and invite in that help for you. To awaken your spirit, your divine guides, who they are that you work with, your totem, whatever it is, the opportunities, we're going to awaken those as well for the path. This that's calling you forward, and also not just the hand, but the eyes to see, the heart to embrace it, the mind to give yourself permission to trust yourself when you know what your steed, what your mount is. How you move forward quickly in this. Not to skimp or to scrimp or to skip. Okay? They said all of them. So one of them is yours, I know that. But to be able to give yourself permission, give yourself a hand. Okay? Hold your own hand if you have to. Well, Cappy, interesting. They're reminding me to look at the bottom of this deck over here. This is called the Magic of You Oracle. I have a 2-layer table if you're wondering, so I'm peeping through to see what the boxes say. And this says doable. The key is within your grasp. That's why you need the hand. Give yourself permission to grasp the key, to set yourself free. To stop this insidiousness. And to begin again. You're powerful. You're mighty. You're ready to regenerate and grow. The final phoenix. Hey, Cap. This is Joy. Say I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.